Okay, so all right, it's already 8 o'clock, past 8 o'clock. Okay, so welcome to Think Like a Pro, everybody. It's Wednesday weekly training brought to you by the four dedicated elite leaders in LifeVantage, led by, of course, Vandy Flake, Dr. Jean DeLucia, Debbie Krall, and yours truly, Kai Hayes. And we did this in order to help our committed business partners achieve personal and leadership transformation. Therefore, can you hear me now?
Yes.
One of the adults, she said she's been doing it for like 5 years, and she's making like 20,000 a month. That's insane.
Which one was this?
Hold on.
Jenna.
All right. Okay, back to you guys. So welcome again to Think Like a Pro Wednesday weekly training brought to you by my three other friends, Vandy Flake, Dr. Jean DeLucia, Debbie Krall, and of course Kai Hayes here. And we are here committed with you guys to be able to to help you achieve your personal and leadership transformation. So therefore, members of this team are highly encouraged to believe in and practice our 4 agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz daily, if possible. And those are: number 1, be impeccable with your word. 2, don't take anything personally. 3rd, don't make assumptions. And 4th, always do your best. Tonight, we are going to hear a story of how far dedication can take someone. So allow me to share with you a bit about our special guest background. Mark Shinsato. Mark received his MBA from Brigham Young University before entering the network marketing industry on the corporate side of things, okay? Before he used to be in the corporate world. But when Mark started seeing all the freedom that these distributors were creating in their own lives, guess what? He made his decision that he wanted that both for himself and his family. And he wanted to enjoy that time for, like a full time with his family and himself. So Mark became a distributor. Can you believe that? That was 27 years ago, though. Since then, he made an impact in LifeVantage and across the entire industry. Time and time again, he's shown how far dedication, hard work, and great attitude can take someone. But despite all his success, of course, Mark sees himself as a family man, married to the love of his life, Sherry, and father of 4 amazing children. So tonight, why don't we show our best and give our special guest a warm welcome by typing in the comment section below the big hello, Mark. Woohoo! Let's type in and greet him a warm hello, Mark. Come on, you guys.
It's aloha. Come on, let's get it right.
Oh, come
aloha.
on, let's change that. Aloha, not hello, Mark. Aloha. Sorry, Mark.
No, I'm just giving you a hard time.
Type in aloha. Yes. So we're so fortunate to have you for tonight, Mark. And how are you, my friend?
I'm great, thank you. You got me a little nervous earlier when you texted me, so we're ready. I was like, ooh, did I get the time wrong? But I was right. So anyway, I'm good. I'm better now.
So did you hear that, folks? Mark got nervous. So he's human. Everybody gets nervous, right, Mark?
Absolutely.
So why don't we get started? Mark, I have about nine questions for you coming out from our distributors, but I'm not sure time-wise, but I'm certain, the thing that I'm certain about is I know that you're going to give your best to get them the answers that they need. So we might go over time for 5 minutes, but if it's okay with you folks, we're going to do it. But if not, we're just going to limit our questions from. Ready for the questions, Mark? Number 1. Okay. As an elite
Ready.
or as an, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah. As an elite or as an executive master pro 10 like you, we often share our story from where we come from, right? The humble beginnings and the struggles that we faced before we embraced network marketing, yes? And then we normally close our story with who we are today, sharing our success and how we love and enjoy our freedom, right? It's the before and after. However, tonight, please tell us the details in between. Tell us about the sacrifices and frustrations that we had to experience in order to reach the status that we have right now. That way, our distributors understand that this business model does not offer an instant gratification so that they won't think of quitting early on. Take it away, Mark.
Well, thank you for inviting me, first of all, and thank you for making time to get on this call and to better yourself, to learn some things that maybe will help you. Gosh, I think you all know the answer to that question that was asked. You know, I mean, gosh, life is like this, right? And so is our business. You have ups, you have downs, you have forks in the road, and sometimes you go the wrong way and you got to turn around and do it all over again. And I mean, same thing with my journey. You know, people say you're so lucky that you were in the very, very beginning with LifeVantage. Well, my journey took probably 30 years to get to here, where I'm at LifeVantage now. And but my journey at LifeVantage, I mean, I remember times, you know, going to meetings and getting there, and there's one or two people there. I even had times where I jumped on a plane, not one time, a bunch of times where I jumped on a plane, was heading to a meeting, and got there and no one was there. I mean, has that ever happened to you? I mean, if that happened to you, you know, put a 1 down in the chat box below. I mean, it happens, right? And it happened more than I'd like it to happen. You know, there's other times where, gosh, people join your business even, and you're excited, right? I remember putting all my eggs in one basket, thinking this is the right person. This person's going to change my business. And they join the business, and then, you know, shortly after that, they're gone. You never hear from them again. And so that happened a bunch of times. You know, I remember one time, and I've told this story before, so if some of you have heard this, and, you know, bear with me, but I remember this was probably a year and a half into the business or so. And I remember I was away doing meetings, and I jump on the phone. I check in with my family every day, a couple of times a day. But I was talking to my second daughter, Kelly, and she said, Dad, I hate LifeVantage. And I'm like, ooh, I mean, that was painful, right? But I just breathed a little and I said, well, what do you hate about it? And she said, because you lied to me. Can you imagine that? I mean, it's like a dagger through your heart, right? Your kid saying you lied to me. And I said, well, what do you mean? And she said, you said that if you do LifeVantage, that you're going to have more time with us, and you have less time. I see you less now than I did before LifeVantage. And oh my gosh, can I just tell you that I got off that phone that night and I curled up in a ball. I curled up, and I mean, I just cried, and I just said, I'm done. I'm sorry. I can still feel that emotion today. I just said, I'm done. I quit. I did quit. Luckily, God was amazing, right? God has gives us end of days and end of seasons and end of weeks. And anyway, He gave me the night to end and a new beginning the next day. And I didn't sleep all night. I just said, I'm done. But somehow, in between the time I went to bed and the time I got up in the morning, I realized that, you know what, no matter what I do, it's going to take time, no matter what I do. And whether I quit this and go back to a job, I'm going to see them, you know, I'm not going to see them, right, for a long period of time. Or I can just suck it up and keep going, right? And I thought, what's going to give me the end result that I really want the quickest? And I thought about it, and I thought, LifeVantage. And so I got up the next morning, put my shoes on, my pants and shoes, and went again. And I just kept going. And I mean, that was just one time. I mean, I had many times, many examples like that where I wanted to give up. In fact, I gave up. I quit. But like I said, God is great. He gives us end of days and new mornings to start again. And I think, we just got to ask ourselves, what do we really want, right? And what's going to give us that goal? What's going to help us to obtain that goal? And then we just got to suck it up. And there's a book called High Performance Habits by Brendan Burchard, one of my favorite books. And he says in there, embrace the suck. And I think sometimes we just got to embrace the suck. No matter what we do, is going to suck sometime. You just got to figure out. And I tell all of our distributors, when they're first jumping in, just make sure that this is the right vehicle for you. Because if it is, then you got to do whatever it takes to get you to where you want to go. You just got to stand back up time and time again and keep going, right? And sometimes it's going to be good, and sometimes it's going to suck. You embrace the suck and you move forward, and you just keep on going. And if you do it enough, right, and improve a little, just improve a little every day. If you can do that, then you're going to finally get to where you want to go. If this is the right vehicle, and for me it was. I knew when I joined that this was the right thing. So I hope that helped. It sucks, but it's okay. Embrace the suck and keep going.
Thank you, Mark. Embrace the suck, you guys. Mark, that was powerful. And yeah, very emotional as well, because I did feel the same way as you do. So thank you very much.
Even
for letting them
today,
hear.
today, sometimes it's sucky. Even today. I mean,
I know.
at least the income keeps going. I don't have to worry about that right now. But I mean, gosh, it's a people business, right? There's good things about people that sometimes it's like, oh my gosh. And you just got to embrace that suck and keep on going.
Yes. And in the very beginning, you're right. There's a short-term imbalance for long-term balance. And you were right. This is the quickest way.
But it takes time, right? It takes time. I mean, it's relative, right?
It's relative. Yeah, definitely.
Relative.
But thank you. They needed to hear that from you, right? So second question for you is, how many people did you sign up in your first 90 days? And what was the outcome?
I don't remember the first 90 days, but my first 30 days, we enrolled about 27-ish, 27 or a few more.
Wow.
And out of the 20s, well, I take that back. 27 that listened. 27 that listened. Out of the 27, 18 said yes to the business. And the rest said they want to be a customer. So I was lucky. 18 customers, and then 18 distributors and 9 customers. And I had to tell the customers, I'm not ready, because it was a pre-launch, right? We didn't have any product. We couldn't sell any product or anything. So I just said, sorry, if you want to be a customer, just hold on for a couple of months. And as soon as we have the product, then I'll get you the product. And so out of 18 though, only 6 did something with it. And I told all of them, please don't do this if you're not going to work. If you're not going to commit to do something, then just be a customer, just wait. 18 said yes, but even though they said, yes, I'm in, only 6 did something with it. The other 12 did not a whole lot. They basically became a Platinum Pack customer, basically.
Wow.
And from that, it grew.
And from there, from the 6 who were proactive, your business grew exponentially,
From the
right?
6, yeah. And some did more, and some did very little. But they led us to other people, right? That led us to other people. Led us to more people. That maybe you find your superstar. But from those 6 people, that's how we started to grow the business. And again, a lot of people don't do a whole lot. It's just kind of reality. It shocks me. I don't get it, because if I say I'm going to do it, then I'm going to do it. But what I see is a lot of people say they're going to do it, but they don't do it. And I think there's a lot of reasons, right? One is they might be scared. you know, what people would think about them, maybe what to do. I don't know what to do, or what if they say yes, and then what do I do? So for various reasons, but you know, so what I learned is focus on the ones that do something. And you know, sometimes people say, you know, I'm not going to go build their business for them. I had the attitude was, you know what, I'm starting a brand new business. I'll do whatever it takes. Even if I have to go build someone else's business, I went and built their business. I took their contacts, right, and helped them build their business. And in the end, we get paid on volume. So I just help people build their business.
Thank you, Mark. And guys, so I hope you heard that from Mark himself, because you guys experienced what Mark had experienced. So it's always good for you guys to hear it from the person who did it. Okay, so don't fret. Number 3, what is the best thing to say when your prospects or customers tell you that they can get their products cheaper on Amazon or eBay?
I kind of laugh and say good luck. and then I'll just tell them, you know what, there's no guarantee. If you buy it from Amazon, right, there's no return policy, one, at least not to the company. And who knows whether it's real product or not real product, expired product or not expired product. You just don't know what you're going to get because it's not from the company and you don't know who you're going to get it from. So good luck if that's where you want to go. But if you want some guarantees that it's the best quality, it's the right product with what we're saying you're going to get, and you want you know, a return policy on that, then I'll help you order it. If not, good luck. And most people say, okay, I'll order it from you.
These are good questions that they really needed to hear it from you. You guys, it's the same answers that we elite leaders are telling you guys. So this is really good. And also tell your customers or distributors, like, you know, would you really give credit to Amazon or to us who share this information with you? Right, Mark? Thank you so much. Brilliant, brilliant. So number 4, what is the best approach when speaking or inviting someone with medical background?
Ooh, well, I think when you, I guess there's a lot of different, when you say medical background, it could mean a lot of different people, right? A lot of different things. But, you know, if it's doctor, ask Dr. DeLucia. You know, he can tell you what to say, but I mean, a lot of the doctors say they don't like to talk to their doctor colleagues because they're the hardest ones. And so, but if I do talk to someone in the medical field, you know, what I'll do is, you know, I don't go straight into the, and again, that's such a broad question because it depends what I'm talking to them about, right? But I don't, so if someone says, can you do a follow-up? Or can you do initial call with someone? Then we'll just kind of stick to, you know, to science, basically to science, and just say, hey, here's some science that you can look at, take a look at it. But you know, I try not to get into a debate with them, and I just try to see if they're open first, because if they're open to listening, then you can share, and then they'll be open. If they're not open, then I'll just cut it short, basically, and I'll say, you know, I'll just say, hey, we'll send you some one of the peer review studies that you can review. But I just try to find out if they're open, I guess, is my best answer. And if they are, then you can do a lot more. You can say a lot more, you can do a lot more. If they're not, then I just kind of cut bait and move on to the next one. I'm not sure if that's what you want to hear, but you know, a lot of
amazing, Mark, because you know, if they're not open, you can't get in, right? You can't get in. So basically that's a brilliant answer, and I hope that you guys are taking notes because if they're not open, how can you get this information across to them? So thank you, Mark. And then on to the next question. This is our 5th question. What was your daily operating method, or cite a few best practices that you did before to help you accelerated in the ranks? Like, give us a few tips when you were still climbing up the ranks.
Yes, well, it's pretty much same today, right? And I'm just going to use today's nomenclature. ITT. I mean, we did the same thing. We just called it different things back then, but we did the same thing, ITT. We invited, right? We gave them something to look at, our presentation, and then we followed up. And so I mean, the more you can do in the beginning of your business, the better it's going to be down the road. And so, we always teach, do at least 15 presentations a day. Well, I mean, a month. Well, if you want to do 15, then you're going to have to invite a lot to get to 15 presentations. So I invited every spare moment in the nooks and crannies of my life. I was calling someone, talking to someone. We didn't have Zoom, right? And so it was so different back then, but it was just a lot of phone calls and just talking with them, sending out information, having them watch, do a presentation. And I'll do it over and over and over. But if you look at best practice, so those are the activities, right? I call them income generating activities. Anything that's going to give you that income. That's what we want to do. And you can apply that to life. Anything that's going to give you to whatever goal you want that you do, right? If I want a good marriage, then I got to be kind. I got to do good things for my wife. You got to do all those things to income generating activities to get the good marriage, right? Well, same thing with LifeVantage. We know what we got to do. ITT, right? ITT. And part of that second T, I think, is the resolving the concerns and answering questions. And you got to do that, a bunch of times. It's not three. Sometimes I think we make ITT too simple. I mean, it is simple, just push the button, right? But you got to follow up. And so you got to follow up a lot over and over and over and over and over again, even with ITT, right? But getting back to best practice, what I like to do, because you know the activities. Now, here's the best practice. So I would look at my long-term goal, where I want it to be, okay, in 3 years. That was my long-term goal, 3 years. And then I look at, well, this next year, what do I have to accomplish so I can get there in 3 years? And then I work backwards. And then I look at the month, and then I look at the week. And I did a lot of weekly planning. And to me, that was powerful. So I looked at my week and said, what do I got to accomplish this week? So Sunday or Monday, I would do my planning. What do I got to get accomplished? What's the most important activities? And then I would take my week and plan it. And I love that launch guide, because you have that Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday right on the top, right? Well, I did that. I didn't use a launch guide. I used my calendar, but I did the same thing. And so I just plugged into that what I had to get done for my LifeVantage business. Okay. So I knew what I had to do. And then I said, okay, here's some time frames I'm going to put into my schedule. I looked at my week and said, this is when I could do my LifeVantage business. And I think, we got to treat this like a business and not just a hobby. And what I mean by that is you got to set your working hours, right? I mean, at work, if you don't show up to work, you don't get paid. In fact, they're going to fire you pretty quickly. Same thing here. We just have the same mentality. You just set your own working hours. So I went through the week and I said, this is when I can do my LifeVantage business. Okay. And that time was sacred. That was my LifeVantage time. So if someone else called me and said, Mark, can you do this, whatever it was? Okay. If it wasn't a boss or something like that, then I would look at my schedule and say, okay, I already have something scheduled, but I can do it here. Or sorry, I can't do it because it's not going to fit my long-term goal. I didn't say that, but that's what I'm thinking, right? So I would just, that time that I set was so sacred, and I just treated that as my work hours. And then what I did every morning was, so I planned my week. I knew what I had to get done, the big goals that week, right? And then so each day, as I looked at each day, I would plan the activities I had to do. Okay, so the morning would come. Here's a great best practice. I would, as soon as I get up, one of the first things I would do, I would hydrate first. Okay, I would read a little, spend about 15 minutes to half an hour personal growth and development. Okay, reading a good book, listening to some type of audio, reading my scriptures. If that's important to you, I learn a lot from that. So I did that. So I'd spend 15 minutes to half an hour doing that, because you want to get the personal growth and development. And then I would exercise, spend about 20 minutes, half an hour exercising. And then I would go over my day. Here's what I had to accomplish. Okay, well, I had work, if you had work, you got to do work stuff and all that. Anyway, you go through your schedule. So for my LifeVantage, this is what I got to get done. These are the meetings that I had scheduled for the day. And then I would walk through those meetings in the morning. So this is what I get. Who do I have to be on my A game for? That's what I ask myself for that meeting. What do we got to get accomplished? Okay. And then I would just kind of walk through that conversation, a mock conversation that I'm having with that person, whoever that was. And I would prepare myself for that. So when that time came, I already knew, I was prepared of what we're going to do. Okay, I already planned in that morning. And then I went through my day. And then at night, really important, is I went back and I looked at my wins, things that went well that day, my losses, what didn't go well. And then the third, really, really, really important, I call them ahas. And those are the lessons that I learned, right? So you got to ask yourself from the things that celebrate the wins, right? And then the losses, then you ask yourself, well, why didn't it go well? What do I have to change? What can I learn from that? What can I do better so that the next time I do it, I'm going to be a little better at it? And then I actually write down the lessons that I learned, the ahas, and the things I'm going to do differently, okay? And the next morning comes when I do that, my little 20-minute, half-an-hour planning. As I'm going through the day, I'm thinking to myself as well, I review the ahas, the losses, the wins, losses, ahas from the day before, and then I plan how I'm going to be a little better. So like a presentation didn't go well. Well, why didn't it go well? And I kind of walk myself through it, what I'm going to go do differently. And I actually visualize and kind of walk myself through doing it different. So that when I get to that presentation, I'm not doing the same old thing. Okay, and that could apply to anything that you need to get better at. And I did that daily. And that wins, losses, and ahas are so, because if you keep doing the same thing, you'll get the same results. You gotta be a little better every day. And in Brendan's book, that High Performance Habits, he says that high performance is succeeding beyond standard norms consistently over the long term. And let me say that again, right? High performance is succeeding beyond standard norms. So you got to be a little better than normal, okay? So that means just a little improvement every day. So succeeding beyond standard norms consistently, what does that mean? You got to do it over and over and over the long term. And as you all know, it just takes time to build any business, right? Not just LifeVantage, but any business you build is going to take time. So that was my daily mode of operation. And of course, you got to ITT through that whole thing, right? That's what's good. That's the activities, but putting that into that calendar was powerful for me. And when I do it today, I get so much better results. And when I don't do it, sometimes I get through what I need to do, and a lot of times I don't. So, from the GoPro, I think it was, you had a plan to succeed and then work that plan, right? So really important, planning, and consistent, little by little, personal growth and development every day.
Thank you, Mark. That was powerful. I loved it because Mark dig deep into the details of his best practices and daily operating method, you guys. I hope you did get the notes from it, because I did. That was powerful, Mark.
I mean, Thank you so much. I can make one little point is you got to get a little better every day. You don't have to be perfect, and you can make mistakes, but we got to continue to work better. Otherwise, we'll never get to our goal, right? I mean, just ask yourself this question. 3 years from now, where do you want to be with your LifeVantage business? Okay, I want you to write that down. Write the answer down to that. In 3 years, where do I want to be with my LifeVantage business? Okay, you got that answer written down? In 3 years. So this is 2020 December, 21, 22, 23. 2023 December, where do you want to be in your business? Okay, so you got that down. Now here's the next question to ask yourself. Do I have the skill set and mindset to grow that business 3 years from now? And if the answer is no, which for me, if I'm looking 3 years, I don't have that skill set yet or that mindset. So if you don't have that skill set or mindset, then the next question is, what skills do I have to develop, or the mindset I have to develop, so that in 3 years I can produce that result that I want? And then when you look into your daily plan daily mode of operation, right? Whenever I'm looking at those goals, if it's not getting me closer to those skill set and the mindset, then you got to have the strength to say no to the things that aren't important, the things that aren't going to get you there. There's a lot of things that you can do, a lot of good stuff in life. But if it's not going to get you to where you want to be in 3 years, then I try to minimize those activities because it's just wasting time, right? So I want you to identify those skills with that mindset, and pick three. Pick 3 skills or mindset that you're going to work on the next couple of months to develop. And then I challenge you all to every day focus on those skills and that mindset to get a little better. Because as you grow personal growth and development, then capacity grows for us to do the things that we want to do. Hold on one second. My daughter just came in. You need something, sweetie? Oh, it's in my car. Sorry. It's hanging up. Yeah, no problem. Sorry about that.
That's fine, Mark. Wow. Thank you for really sharing deep into your activities and your best practices with us. And this is the main reason why you are an Executive Master Pro 10. And so I really like that when you told us to minimize the activities that's not going to get you where you're going to be in the next 3 years. That's just
that's hard to do. That is hard to.
That is hard to do.
Easier said than done. It really is easier, but it does. And you know what? It's okay to mess up. It's okay. You just, at the end of the day, you figure out that's a mess up. It didn't go well. And then you figure out, well, what I'm going to do tomorrow. How am I going to make it a little better tomorrow?
Absolutely. So I hope you guys drop a comment on the comment section below. Drop a 1 if you want me to continue to ask Mark those 2 remaining questions that I have for him. Is that okay with you? All right, this is really a great training, Mark. Thank you so much. And so I hope you guys are taking wonderful notes. So the next question is, why is third-party validation necessary? And I know that answer to I know the answer to my prospects' questions, and I can't find third party at all times. So what should I do?
Well, I can answer my questions or my friends' questions, prospects' questions, but I always try to have someone else be that third party validation. Whether it's, I don't really have I have very few upline. And then I use a lot of sideline and downline, if you will. Anyone else but me, I try to get them to do it. Here's why. Because, one of the biggest concerns that people have when they look at LifeVantage is, I can't do that. You ever heard that, right? That's one of the biggest things. And in fact, that's probably the biggest concern that most people have. People say, I don't have time, I don't have money, or whatever it is. But most times it's just, can I do it? That's the biggest concern, right? And all the other things they give, you know what the definition of a excuse is? An excuse is a well-planned lie, right? And so, most of the things that people tell you are excuses for them to get out of it, right? But typically one of the biggest concerns is, can I do it? And so when that comes up, it's easier to say, I don't know if I can give that presentation, or I don't know if I can do that. So if you have, you know, if you're the A, I call them the A, the um, the advisor, okay? B is the bridge, and C is the potential customer client, your friend or family, right? And then B is the new distributor, and A is the person that's doing the validation, right? So what happens is if I'm the A and I'm doing it for my friend Charlie, for example, and Sarah says, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can do that. And you say, all you got to do is, then you say, well, can you do what Charlie did in the last half an hour? And a lot of times they look at you like, he can do anything, right? Well, then, you know, can you invite someone to listen and take notes? Can you do that? And almost always they say, I can do that. And you see that concern then goes out of their way. So, you know, if you can get someone else to do it, then it just helps with the process. That's one thing. Another thing is sometimes even me, my friends just think I'm just Mark, right? I mean, you start a new profession, you're in LifeVantage, now you're in health and wellness and starting your own business. And they're thinking, how come this guy that was an employee all this time, how can he be an expert in starting a business? Or, I mean, this guy's not a health and wellness coach, right? And so if you can get someone else and you tee them up to be that expert, then when they're listening, guess what? They're hearing it differently. And all of a sudden, they're receiving it better than if they're listening to you. And that's one of the biggest reasons why, is because you're just a friend to them, right? You just Mark. But if you can be the expert, that's pretty awesome. So I hope that answered your question.
Perfectly well, Mark. Bring in the expert, you guys, to answer the questions, because to your friends, like Mark said, we are just playing Kai, you know, we're friends, or we're just brother to another sister. So yes, we definitely need to bring in the right person that they needed to hear it from. Okay. Thank you, Mark. So going to virtual event, what do you call it? GoPro virtual event last weekend, 3 days. It was an aha moment for me as well. It was truly beyond phenomenal, I believe, and that's why I'm so excited to share that with my team. So this question is it important to take up network marketing and other personal development trainings outside LifeVantage, and why?
I'm not sure if you're going to like my answer, but I'm going to give you my answer anyway, right? Because I'm always honest.
Sure.
So I guess I got to answer the question with a question first, right? Are you an expert in network marketing? And if the answer is no, then learn from the experts. So I think, you know, programs like GoPro is a good way, you know, books that you can read, audios that you can listen to are great ways to start to learn from experts. The caution that I have is sometimes, you know, I mean, you know, GoPro. I don't know how to say
For
it nicely.
other network marketing, yeah.
Whatever, I'm just going to say
Tony
it, right? They
Robbins.
want to upsell you to all these programs, right? And a lot of them are good, but you know what? If you go to our LifeVantage events, okay, and you, I mean, these people that have made it, they're teaching the same things, okay. So I mean, one thing I listen to it because I always learn something different, right, from someone else that's successful in it. So I like to learn and get a little better. So the answer is yes, it's important. At the same time, the caution is, you know, just I don't think you have to go spend thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. Plug in to your LifeVantage training. In fact, we got, you know, our mastery, success mastery training on Saturdays, and different trainings that we have. And so plug into those. And I don't know what I can and can't say. So I'm just trying to think. Hold on one second.
Sure.
I'm just going to say this. We're going to start to enhance our Saturday trainings. And it's going to start getting better and better and better in the coming months. So as that happens, you want to plug into those events because you're going to learn all the things that you learn from those successful people, right, on GoPro. I mean, it was good. I liked it. I learned. So I say do that, but you don't have to get sucked in and spending thousands and thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars to do all those things. Just plug into the training. When I started, we didn't have any of those training. We're lucky that we have the training now to plug into. So I hope that answers the question.
Thanks for the clarity, Mark, because that is important, especially for our newbies, Mark, for our newbies, for all those who have not actually stepped into the elite status. Guys, if you are an elite and above elite Masters Pro 10, if you wish to invest thousands and thousands of dollars, like, you know, there are a lot of trainings that are from 3,000 to 5,000, even to 10,000. My goodness, please be cautious. And thank you, Mark, because that's the reason why we asked this question for you, is because you have to be cautious. Are you really going to spend $5,000 right now? You just got started. So the very first step.
That's just my opinion, you know. I mean, check with your leaders and see what they say.
Right.
But I think if you just listen to, gosh, the Kai Hayeses of the world, you know, Sean Pose and Michelle Pose and Carrie Dickey and Blue Elams, you know, I mean, your leads. I mean, just notice what you learned over the weekend was probably what you hear at Elite Academy, right? So anyway,
absolutely.
Good stuff.
Yeah, definitely. And plus, of course, be cautious with the amount of money that you invest. If it's less than $500 for personal transformation, growth training, yes, it's up to you. So evaluate your finances and everything, but I still believe that you need to invest in yourself with your time, with your money as well, just like Mark has mentioned here. Okay. Thank you, Mark. And I believe that we are okay. We went beyond time, and thank you so much, you guys, for truly spending time with us, especially with Mark here, because it is crucial. It is crucial. It's going to be December 20. It's going to be end of the year and January. What are we going to do in January, Mark, right? So why don't you give them your wisdom for this January? You know, I hope that they won't they will make a decision not to get stuck again in the next 12 months. So
hey Kai, I was reading one of the comments and they asked, you know, what was the name of that book? It's called High Performance Habits. And I've read this book, I don't know, 30, 40, 50, by Brendon Burchard. I continue to read this book. It's really good. And it's going to be different than what you may think habits are. But anyway, good stuff.
Okay, Mark, do you have any last words for them before we close this training?
Yeah, I mean, I just think, you know, you know what to do, right? ITT, you know what to do. And what really going to give you the result is taking that knowledge and turning it into action. And it's really the action that, and I call them income generating activities, that's going to give you the increase in your income, right? Or increase in your business. So just focus on the activities, on activities that are going to give you the results that you want. And just ask yourself as you start to plan your week, is this activity really going to help me to get me to where I want to go? And if it's not, then don't do it, right? Don't waste your time. And you're going to get better and better at weeding out the non-important things and focusing on those activities that are going to help you to grow your business. So that's it. I love you guys. Merry Christmas. I love this season just because people just seem a little nicer, a little kinder. Anyway, I just love this season, this time of giving. Anyway, thanks for having me on your call.
It's an honor, Mark. It's a pleasure. And thank you for sharing your golden nuggets and everything that we have learned tonight. It's so wonderful. And in behalf of my friends here, Vandy, Dr. Jean, and Debbie, guys, have a good evening and have a Merry Christmas as well. Ciao. Thank you.
Bye.